Friday, July 27, 1990, 27 years ago today, members of the Jamaat al Muslimeen stormed the Red House, taking hostage then Prime Minister ANR Robinson and members of the NAR government. State media house Trinidad and Tobago Television was taken over by another group of Muslimeen members. Employees were held hostage. As we remember 1990, Dennis Comie and Jionne P. Madeira shared their memories of that fateful day. Both men agree that the coup failed because the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago chose democracy over anarchy. For this, they believe citizens should be celebrated. Dionne Baptiste has more.
At 6 p.m. this afternoon, the government of Trinidad and Tobago was overthrown. The Prime Minister and members of the cabinet are under arrest. We are asking everybody to remain calm. The revolutionary forces are commanded to control the streets. There shall be no looting.
July 27th marks the anniversary of what is arguably the darkest time in our nation's history, the attempted coup of 1990. Many of the survivors are still haunted by what transpired on that fateful day. Dennis Comie, who was a producer at NBS Radio 610 at the time of the coup, describes the insurrection as one of the most horrific incidents we've experienced as a nation.
A lot of things were not resolved, a lot of people were not acknowledged, a lot of the victims were not supported, and the history is in jeopardy of being rewritten by people who would much prefer to dismiss the whole thing altogether.
He would like to see government acknowledge the events of July 27, 1990 as a national experience and mark each anniversary as a day of national prayer and remembrance.
I think if we did something like that, it would go far to not only honoring those that were killed as a result of the attempted coup d'etat, but it would also give us time to reflect on the heroism on the part of many, many ordinary citizens and members of the media.
Jionne P. Madeira says the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago should be celebrated as it was their behavior and commitment to country that prevented the furtherance of the coup.
Because the government was very unpopular at the time. Yet not a single soul got up and said, I am going to march into town and take the leaders of this attempted coup on our shoulders and demonstrate how much we appreciate what they have done. Because in other countries, we would have been goners.
Yes.
The government was hostage, for goodness sake. The Prime Minister of the country and the Attorney General were hostages. A lot of members of the cabinet were in there.
Mr. Comie says the proliferation of guns and an upsurge in crime came in the aftermath of the attempted coup. Mr. Madeira, on the other hand, does not subscribe to the rhetoric that the events of 1990 are wholly to blame for the continued growth of crime in Trinidad and Tobago.
I think crime became more prominent when it became portable. Every youngster could afford a vehicle and committed a crime and was able to get off the scene quite quickly. So there are certain things about 1990 I do not believe. What I believe is that no one was going to be part of the group to take over this country.
Mr. Madeira says our acceptance of and failure to address minor infractions encourages perpetrators to graduate to more serious offenses. This, he says, seriously undermines the fabric of our society. He insists that we must address all crime today instead of laying blame at the feet of the events of 1990. Dionne Baptiste, C News.